Know this about psychologists. I've been a clinical psychologist for 8 years, and this is what I know. Today I want to give you a short introduction to what a psychologist is. Maybe you already know, then feel free to skip to one of my other videos. If not, then join in and hear a bit about my profession. First, let's look at what the word psychologist means. The word psychology translates to the study of the mind. Psyche means mind, logos means science or studying. Therefore, psychologist means someone who studies the mind or mind scientist. So in real words, a psychologist is a mind nerd, someone who strives to possess as much knowledge and teachings about the workings of our mind. Myself, I started my bachelor's in psychology in 2008, so that means that I've been a mind scientist for 16 years. Unless we count that I've had psychology in school since 9th grade, of course, then it's 20-something years by now. The title psychologist here in Denmark, where I reside, and most of the world, I think, is a protected title. So I was first allowed to formally call myself a psychologist when I received my master's diploma in 2016. Psychologist training is different depending on what country you live in. In Denmark, you can call yourself a psychologist when you've completed a master's in psychology at university. What can we say about psychologists? What does it include? A psychologist doesn't have to be a nice, caring person or a warm shoulder to cry on. A psychologist is more like a doctor. It's a professional who specializes in the mind, just as the doctor is specialized in the body. When you see a professional, you don't come for empathy or warmth only, you come to become wiser and get help. I mentioned this as it's one of the most common misconceptions of what a psychologist is. Some will have in mind that it's just a really nice person who holds space for them to cry. This misconception is often voiced when given reasons for not seeing a psychologist. Therefore, I want to make it clear that that's not within my profession. Just as well that it's not within the profession of doctor. Think about it. Imagine if your doctor just listened to your complaints and told you that they empathized and did nothing. I think if that was the case, you would quite quickly fire your doctor and find a new one. And I suggest you should do the same with your psychologist. Of course, figuring out what the complaints are is essential to be able to assess the problem in order to know the correct solution to the problem. So yes, we do listen to the clients. But what you tell your psychologist is not the goal in itself. What you tell your psychologist is what helps your psychologist analyze what problem you have and lead them to what treatment to give you. As with physical and medical problems, also mental problems can be looked up and found a likely treatment protocol for. So it's like when you describe to your doctor what's going on. Then the doctor will, based on their knowledge, suggest you a solution. Or as it is sometimes the case, that it's normal and help you accept that. A psychologist works the same way. Therapy means change. The foundation for change is figuring out the problem and thereby the treatment. I would refrain from calling therapy treatment, as it's treating the problem or multiple. Just as with medical treatment, there are often many correct solutions or methods to solve the problem, just as well as different doctors will suggest different cures, so will different psychologists. When you see a psychologist, it's your initial job to either tell what you're finding difficult, or it can be your job to answer the psychologist's questions about this if you're finding it difficult to describe it on your own. This is how we find out what you're suffering from. The psychologist will have, through their education, they'll have the knowledge about what problem needs what treatment. Next, after talking to you about the problem you want to tackle, it's the psychologist's job to help you understand why you should try this method, and then the psychologist will help you do it, support you in the process, and follow up with you and measure if it's working. There is a method to our practice and a clear goal to our profession. I would be as brave to say that I wouldn't call just listening and being nice for therapy. To me, it's not practicing psychology. This is being a good friend. Finding a good friend or confidant can of course be a problem you can address with a psychologist and find a good solution for. A psychologist is a professional who should be able to do two main things: help you understand your mind or your psyche, and help you change or better what you hope to change. I think this was all we had time for. What was your takeaway from today's video? As always, feel free to take away the information you can use, if any, and leave the rest. Hopefully you found that today's topic made sense and I didn't waste your time. Please subscribe or like this video so my channel can grow. Take care and see you for the next one.